To the employees at the Precision Tool Company, it was a Monday morning at the plant like any other. Until... time was you could come to the rescue of a coworker without giving much thought to your own safety. But today, it's not always that easy. Deadly diseases can stand between you and acts of heroism. Diseases like human immunodeficiency virus, or HIV, and hepatitis B virus, or HBV. Although there are a number of diseases transmitted by blood, it's important to know about these too.
This is all well and good for workers in most companies, but my co-workers are a great bunch of folks. We don't have the kind of people you're talking about here.
Hold on. All kinds of people have HBV and HIV. Today, there are already about 1 to 1.5 million people in the United States infected with HIV. Another 1 million infected with HBV. And you can't tell who they are by looking at them. They could be old or young, male or female, married or single. They can be from an inner city or a small town. What's more, they may not even know they are infected. People can carry either disease for many years while looking and feeling quite healthy. Yet all the while, their blood and body fluids may be highly contagious, so that they can unknowingly spread the diseases to others. That's why health experts say the only safe thing to do is to treat any blood or body fluids you may run into as potentially infectious. As the first ones on the scene, Jennifer and Paul do what they can to help their coworker. Paul shuts down the machinery, then tries to comfort his coworker. He then leaves the scene to notify the company's first responder. Jennifer stays with the injured worker. But notice one thing. Before touching blood, she takes a moment to slip off her utility gloves and puts on a pair of leak-proof gloves, and she leaves her goggles on. Jennifer knows that the gloves and goggles help keep blood and body fluids off her skin and out of her eyes, and they may protect her from disease. However, if you do get blood or body fluids on your skin, wash it off as soon as possible with non-abrasive soap and water. If either of these substances get in your eyes, immediately flush your eyes with running water at a sink or eye wash fountain, and then report the incident to your supervisor. Once any bleeding is under control, you do not need to give further assistance. Just stay with the injured person and wait for emergency assistance to come. Whether a company employee or an outside professional, the first responder is trained to help the accident victim and protect him or herself against blood-borne diseases at the same time. But just because the accident victim has been taken care of doesn't mean you're out of the woods yet. A hazardous situation continues to exist until the workplace is cleaned of blood and body fluids and contaminated cleaning equipment has been disposed of safely. Today, almost everyone has heard of AIDS, or acquired immune deficiency syndrome. It is a serious illness caused by HIV. Sooner or later, most people infected with HIV will get AIDS. They become unable to fight infections and other diseases. Worst of all, AIDS cannot yet be cured. Hepatitis B, or HBV for short, is a liver disease which is a virus. Unlike AIDS, hepatitis B can often be cured, but it is a bigger threat than AIDS because it is more common. If you become infected with HBV, you may feel like you have the flu, or you may be so sick you have to be hospitalized. You may even die. Perhaps you're thinking, who can worry about AIDS or hepatitis B when my coworker is in danger? A better question is, who can afford not to? The fact is, AIDS and hepatitis B are out there whether you think about them or not. The better you understand the risks involved, the easier it is to take simple measures to protect yourself and your coworkers on the job. Fortunately, AIDS and hepatitis B aren't as easy to catch as many other viruses. They aren't spread through the air like cold and flu germs, so you won't get either disease from working alongside someone who is infected or from touching. And you don't have to worry about catching either virus from eating utensils, water fountains, gym equipment, swimming pools, or insects, including mosquitoes. AIDS and hepatitis B are primarily spread by 3 types of body fluids: blood, vaginal secretions, and semen. And both diseases can also be passed from pregnant women to their unborn infants. But to actually get one of these diseases, the hepatitis B or AIDS viruses must get inside your body. The most common way this happens is during sex with an infected partner. Another route of infection exists when intravenous drug users share needles, which are contaminated. As you can see, you aren't likely to get AIDS or hepatitis B during the normal course of the workday, but it could happen in extraordinary circumstances. Let's say you accidentally cut yourself with a sharp object that is contaminated with the blood or body fluids of an infected person. Or you're helping an injured coworker and you get infected blood or body fluids on your skin, and your skin has open sores, nicks, or cuts. Normally, your skin acts as a protective barrier to keep viruses out. But even tiny breaks or cracks in the skin from common conditions like dermatitis, acne, and broken cuticles can be doorways for the HIV or HBV viruses to enter your body. A virus can also get inside your body if contaminated blood or body fluids get in your eyes, nose, or mouth. Knowing all of this, the maintenance and janitorial staff swing into action. Marcia and Tom wear gloves to protect their hands from contact with blood or other body fluids. It is recommended that you wear 2 pairs of gloves when cleaning up after an accident. They also take an extra moment to don smocks so that blood and body fluids will not get on their work clothes. Before they begin cleaning, access to the area is restricted. Next, Marcia uses disposable towels to soak up most of the blood. These and any other waste contaminated with blood or body fluids must be placed in a sealed, color-coded, or labeled leak-proof container and disposed of as regulated waste. Marcia uses an appropriate solution, 10 parts water to 1 part bleach, to mop the floor, while Tom uses the same solution to clean the machinery. Bleach will inactivate both HIV and HBV. Tom is particularly careful to avoid tearing his gloves on the machine's sharp edges. After cleaning, Marcia must promptly disinfect the mop and any other cleaning equipment she used. Otherwise, she might spread viruses to other areas in the company while cleaning. But accidents are not the only times that maintenance and janitorial staff have to deal with blood and other potentially infectious body fluids. Sometimes they face hazards that are less obvious, but just as dangerous while performing routine cleaning or maintenance tasks. For example, blood may be present in vomit, urine, or feces, even if you can't actually see it. Wear gloves and protective equipment if you must clean surfaces soiled with body fluids or excretions. As you can see, blood can be almost anywhere you have to clean. Toilets, sinks, trash, you name it. So why not be prepared? Always wear gloves and a protective smock or apron on the job. Be alert for sharp objects such as broken glassware or used syringes when emptying trash containers. And don't pick up sharps directly with your hands. Use a device such as a brush and dustpan. Place contaminated sharp objects and other contaminated wastes or cleaning materials in sturdy leak-proof containers and dispose of them according to your company policy. Handling laundry can also be a risky business. People do not realize that the laundry they carry may be dangerous. Bags of laundry sometimes conceal contaminated items like bloody rags and clothing. Contaminated sharps might also be accidentally discarded in a laundry bag. Remember, when handling laundry, carry it by the top. Never place a hand underneath to support it. When sorting laundry, take precautions to protect yourself from the dangers within. Some safety measures are just plain good sense. For example, keep your hands away from your face, especially your nose, mouth, and eyes, while cleaning. And be sure to wash your hands and remove any protective clothing before eating, drinking, smoking, applying cosmetics or lip balms, or handling contact lenses. Hand washing is one of your best defenses against spreading infection, including HBV and HIV. Always wash your hands with soap and water at the end of your shift and after removing work gloves. Now, here are a few important points for all workers to follow. First of all, know what to do before an emergency occurs. Find out whether your company has trained emergency care personnel and know how to contact them. Second, don't take unnecessary risks. Yes, shut off machinery, sound the alarm, and do whatever you must to save a life. But don't touch blood or body fluids or administer unprotected mouth-to-mouth resuscitation unless you absolutely have to. If possible, wait for emergency professionals to arrive on the scene. Third, take a cue from professional emergency care personnel and protect yourself from blood and body fluids whenever possible. Professionals use special protective equipment and apparatus. But even the goggles, gloves, and dust masks you use on the job can help keep blood and body fluids off your skin and out of your eyes, nose, and mouth. Fourth, if you get blood or body fluids on your gloves, clothes, or shoes, remove them as soon as possible and place in a sealed bag. Next, wash with non-abrasive soap and water. Then find out from your supervisor what your company's policy is for decontaminating and disposing of contaminated items. Fifth, don't clean up blood or body fluids unless you have been trained to do so. And be sure to follow your company's policies to the letter. And finally, if you do think you may have been exposed to the AIDS or hepatitis B viruses, don't panic. Report the incident immediately to your supervisor. If possible, try to determine the source of the blood or body fluid you contacted, or even get a sample if possible. Your employer can advise you about the testing, counseling, and any follow-up steps. Protecting yourself from blood-borne diseases on the job requires knowing the facts, practicing good hygiene, and taking a few sensible precautions. These are measures which you can control. They are vitally important. Take them seriously. If you care about your job, your fellow workers, and yourself, it's worth it.